Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Welcome to Learn Quran with Inam, and this is your teacher Muhammad Inam. Today we are going to learn lesson number 16 of Madani qaida in English, inshallah. And lesson 16 name is Tafkhim and Tarqiq. So question will be made, what's mean of Tafkhim and Tarqiq? So Tafkhim, the meaning of Tafkhim is to pronounce a letter in a thick tone, and Tarqiq is to pronounce a letter in a thin tone. Next question, which letters are read with thicker voice and with thin voice? So these are three letters, alif, lam and ra. These letters are read sometime with thicker voice, sometime with thin voice. Question will be made, when alif can be read with thicker voice and with thin voice? So if you see there is thick letter before the alif, okay, if you see there is thick letter before the alif, then alif will be read with thicker voice. If you see there is thin letter before the alif, then alif will be read with thin voice. So there is lam, and this lam is lam of Allah Azawajal. Like this lam, this lam comes in the name of Allah. Okay, this lam is specially lam of Allah. This lam is not simple lam. You can say to like this rule is specially for name of Allah Azawajal, not for simple lam. Remember this thing. So when lam will be read with thicker and with thin voice, if you see name of Allah Azawajal, if you see there is zabar before the lam of Allah Azawajal, if you see there is zabar before the lam of Allah Azawajal, then lam will be read with thicker voice. Zabar and pesh, both harakat. Okay, if you see zabar and pesh before the lam of Allah, then lam of Allah will be read with thicker voice. If you see there is zair before the lam of Allah, then lam of Allah will be read with thin voice. So these are two rules of this lesson. Now we are going to learn third rule. Next question is raw, like when raw will be read with thicker voice. So the conditions for when the letter raw is pronounced in a thick tone. Okay, so there are 7 conditions of raw when raw will be read with thicker voice. First condition number 1, when raw has zabar or pesh on it. Okay, when raw has zabar and pesh on it. Second, when raw has double zabar or double pesh on it. Understood? Third one, when raw has vertical zabar on it. Number 4, when if there is zabar or pesh before the raw sakina. If you see there is zabar or pesh before the raw sakina, then raw will be read with thicker voice. Next question, when there is a kasra ardiya, like temporary zair. If you see there is temporary zair before the raw sakina, then raw will be read with thick voice. Next question, when there is kasra like zair before a raw sakina in the previous word. If you see there is zair before the raw sakina, not in the same word, in the previous word, okay, then raw will be read with thicker voice. And last one is when a letter of musta'aliya comes after a raw sakina in the same word, then raw will be read with thicker voice. So these are 7 conditions. I will tell you practically how to use these conditions for reading raw with thicker voice. So next question, when raw will be read with thin voice. So when there is kasra, mean zair or 2 zair below it. If raw has zair or 2 zair below it, then read with thin voice. Second condition, if there is original zair before the raw sakina in the same word. Okay, if there is original zair before the raw sakina in the same word, then raw will be read with thin voice. But if there is zair before the raw sakina in the previous word, then this condition will be made, this one. Okay, then raw will be read with thicker voice. So remember this thing, if zair comes before the raw sakina in the same word, then with thin voice. But if zair comes before the raw sakina in the previous word, then with thicker voice. So this one, when there is a ya sakina before the ra sakina. If you see there is ya sakina anywhere, if you see ya sakina before the ra, then ra will, if you see there is ya sakina before the ra sakina, then ra will be read with thin voice. And last definition of this lesson is arzi harakat, like temporary harakat. So in the Holy Quran, there are some words which begin with the letter alif, which has no harakat. So whichever harakat one will apply to such an alif during its pronunciation will be ardiya, like temporary. Let me give you one example. You can see here. We read this surah in namaz. This surah name is Suratul Fatiha. We read Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen, and after that we read second ayat Ar-Rahman Ar-Rahim. So you can see there is alif. We read Ar-Rah like Hamza Ra Zabar Ar-Rahman Ar-Rahim, but you can see alif doesn't have any harakat, right? So we have to put harakat like zabar on it. We put harakat on this alif for reading this word. So this kind of harakat, this type of harakat is called temporary. I think you have understood. So now we are going to start the lesson. And one more thing, raw sakina will be pronounced in a thick tone when in the same word the letter coming before it has a kasra asliya, original zir below it, and the letter coming after it is a musta'aliya letter. uh, I would like to tell you in easy words. We just learned in three conditions of raw, when raw will be read with thin voice. If you see, if there is original zir before the raw second in the same word, then read with thin voice. But if you see Musta'ali letter has come after raw sakina in the same word, then you have to read with thicker voice. Okay, doesn't matter if there is zir before the raw sakina in the same word. So you have to read with thicker voice. You can't read raw with thin voice. Okay, these are the rules of lesson number 16. And now we are going to start lesson number 16, and we will read with spelling, without spelling. Inshallah, we will apply the rules. And let's start this lesson now. So you can see in this line there is zabar before the there is thick letter before the alif, so alif will be read with thicker voice. This lam is simple lam, that's why it will be read with thin voice. So let's read it with spelling. Qaf alif zabar qa. You have to revise after me. Qaf alif zabar qa. Lam zabar la. Qala. Next word sod is thicker voice, mustali letter, so read with thicker voice. There is alif madda, there is alif and there is thick letter before the alif, because raw, when raw will have zabar pesh on it, then raw will be read with thicker voice. So you have to read alif with thicker voice. Ta is mustaliya, that's why read with thicker voice. Revise after me. Sod zir si. Raw alif zabar raw. Si raw. Ta zabar ta. Sirata. So there is thick letter before the alif, so that's why read with thicker voice. And alif has come after tanween, double zabar, so we can't read because we will read with spelling. Seen zir si. Ra alif zabar ra. Sira. Jim two zabar jan. Sirajan. Next, there is thin letter before the alif, so you have to read with thin voice. Kaf alif zabar ka. Noon zabar na. Kana. There is alif madda, so you have to read with thin voice. And there is alif has come after double zabar, that's why don't read during spelling. Mim alif zabar ma. Lam two zabar lan. Malan. So next word, there is a thin letter before the alif, so alif should be read with thin voice, as well as alif is musaliya, so stretch equal to one alif. Mim zabar ma. Fa alif zabar fa. Ma fa. Za two zabar zan. Ma fa zan. Next line. There's alif, thick letter before the alif, so alif will be read with thicker voice. Talibu. Next, there is thin letter before the alif and vaw is madda. So stretch vaw madda and alif madda equal to one alif. Tabu. There is thick letter before the alif and alif is madda. So alif read with thicker voice as well as stretch equal to one alif. Khalidan. And remember one thing, if alif or ya comes after double zabar, you can see in this word here, here and here. So if you see alif or ya after double zabar, then don't read during spelling, okay? Khalidan. Keep revising after me. There is alif madda and there is a thin letter before the alif, so we will read with thin voice. Abidun. Next word, there is thick letter before the alif, so we have to read with thicker voice. And alif is madda, so stretch equal to one alif. Ghasiqin. Next word, this alif madda, so stretch equal to one alif, and to is mustaliya, so read with thicker voice. Tu'amin. Next, there is lam of Allah Azza wa Jalla, okay? And I taught you, if you see name of Allah, and second thing, if you see there is zabar before the lam of Allah, then read with thicker voice, okay? So you can see there is zabar before the lam of Allah, so we will read with thicker voice. Hamzah lam zabar al, lam khada zabar la, Allah, ha pesh hu, Allahu. Next word, there is zabar before the lam of Allah. This lam also will be read with thicker voice. Wow, lam zabar wal, lam khada zabar la, wallah, ha pesh hu, wallahu. Next word, there is zabar before the lam of Allah, so read with thicker voice. Fa lam zabar fal, lam khada zabar la, fallah, ha pesh hu, fallahu. Noon is mushaddad, so read with gunna. And there is zabar before the lam of Allah, so read with thicker voice. Hamzah noon zir in, noon lam zabar nal, innal, lam khada zabar la, innallah, ha zabar ha, innallaha. Next word, lam will be read with thicker voice. Ha pesh hu, waw lam zabar wal, huwal, lam khada zabar la, huwallah, ha pesh hu, huwallahu. So next word, there is zabar before the lam of Allah, so read with thicker voice. Mim zir mi, noon lam zabar nal, minal, lam khada zabar la, minallah, ha zir hi, minallahi. And now we are going to read next line without spell, okay? Ra has zabar, so that's why it will be thicker voice. Waw is madda, so stretch equal to one alif. There is page before the lam of Allah, so it will be thicker voice. Rasulullahi. Ra has zabar, so read with thicker voice. There is zabar before the lam of Allah, so read lam of Allah with thicker voice. Radiyallahu. Alif, there is zabar thick letter before the alif, so alif will be read with thicker voice. And alif is madda, so stretch equal to one alif. Lam, this lam is lam of Allah, so there is pesh before the lam of Allah, so read with thicker voice. Mim with mushaddad, mim is mushaddad, read with gunna. Qalullahumma, Next letter. There is zir before the lam of Allah, so we have to read with thin ways. I would like to teach you with spelling this word. Lam, lam, zir lil. Lam, khada zabar la. Lillah. Ha, zir hi. Lillahi. Next word. There is zir before the lam of Allah, so we have to read with thin ways. Billahi. There is zir before the lam of Allah, so we have to read with thin ways. Bismillahi. And we have learned first part of lesson number 16. Tomorrow inshallah we will learn second part of lesson number 16 inshallah. If you like this video, then share with your family, friends and relatives, and subscribe this channel. We will come again in your tomorrow class and we will learn second part of this lesson inshallah. Remember me in your prayers. Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.